Welcome to this week's episode of Hone Your Skills. And this week we are going to be talking about the dip. Now, the dip is this very interesting phenomenon that happens to all Herbalife distributors. It actually happens to everybody and everything. And I'm going to show you what the dip is. I learned this from the book The Dip by Seth Godin. So it's definitely something to check out. Read that book. It's awesome. So it goes like this. We have a graph. Now this graph shows, effort and results. Now, what typically people think is going to happen is the more effort you put in, the more results you get. Unfortunately, that's not how it actually happens or how it occurs. What actually occurs is what is called the dip. So let's consider what this looks like in the Herbalife business. So when you first start out, you get your results, you're really excited, you lose a lot of weight, and all of your coworkers, all your friends, all your family, they see this because you've been posting it. So you put in a little effort, you post a picture, a little Transformation Tuesday picture or something like that, you put in a little effort, you get a little result, and you keep doing it, and you're like, wow, I'm a rock star. And then, boom, you hit supervisor. You hit supervisor in a month. You're like, this is fantastic. And then you run out of COI, your circle of influence, right? So now you have to go out and get new people. And then you get kind of scared and you don't know. You're brand new. You're like, what am I going to do? So again, you hit this point. You're a brand new supervisor. You're super high. Or this could be like world team or whatever, right? Man, I hit world team really fast. Here I am. And then you put in more effort, but you get less results. You're like, what's going on? I post twice as much, and nothing's happening. Well, despite you posting twice as much, the newness, the new car smell of you being an Herbalife distributor has now dissipated. So, you're not getting results, you're not getting clients, people are falling off, and you're not replacing them with new. You're like, man, this sucks. And look at this slope of the line. Look at how steep that is. You're going to have to put a lot of effort in order to gain minimal results. And at the bottom of this dip is where a lot of people die. And this video was created so that you don't die in the dip. Okay? So that's... Don't die in the dip, okay? Hashtag don't die in the dip. This is where a lot of people die because this right here, this area here, that is where all of the lessons in Herbalife are learned, okay? And this is what separates the men from the boys or the girls or whatever is separating, all right? There's only a very few people who make it to that point. This is where everybody wants to be at. Say this is like your Millionaires team or your Prez team or Get team, whatever, right? This is your Tab team. Very few get here because very few learn the lessons that need to be learned in Herbalife. So they're putting in effort, like as in they're talking to new people and all, but they're getting little results. And so what happens is they might get up to this point and they're like, I'm not getting any traction and it is so hard. And they just slide right back into the dip. And this is where you have your world team members who lose every distributor that they have. And they don't know what to do. And then they die in the dip. So remember, I don't want you to die in the dip. But what I do want you to do is look at this dip as your best friend. Because if this dip didn't exist and it was simply a straight line, all of the Herbalife distributors that actually did die in the dip would still be here. And that would leave a lot of competition. So it would actually make it even harder to compete. Actually, I'm sorry, that was completely wrong. It actually makes it harder to compete because if nobody died in the dip, there would be millions and millions of more distributors. And then, so why would somebody want to work with me when their cousin is doing it, or their uncle's doing it, or their sister's doing it, or their boyfriend's doing it? If everybody's doing it, which isn't a bad thing, you know, we rep Herbalife, we want everybody to be successful. But we only want those who really genuinely believe in the business, in the product, and are repping the company the right way. So this dip filters out the people who don't deserve to be here, because this year, the tab team, they represent Herbalife. They are Herbalife, as in they represent in front of Congress people and everybody else. So we want the best of the best, and this dip is the filter. Because if this dip wasn't here, everybody would be there. And not saying we don't want everybody to be there, but again, we want the best people to be there. So in order to be the best, you have to learn the lessons and survive the dip. Hashtag don't die in the dip. All right, y'all. I'll see you at the next video.